Hi and welcome back to David Tom Creations. This week, as you can see, I am going to be reviewing GR6 from Native Instruments. I haven't really had much chance to have a look at this because it's part of K13. So I did have GR5, but I never really kind of had used it much. Is quite a big improvement, and they've completely changed the UI. The UI in GR6 is much more graphic than 5, and I'll show you what the difference is. I'll show you 5 and 6 when we go into Logic. But so there's a few new features. The main ones are there's 3 new amps. There's Fire Breather, Chicago, and Bass Invader. And there's also quite a lot of new effects from Soft Tube and Solid. It's quite a reasonable upgrade from 5. And if you have 5, I would say that it's probably definitely worth the £89 upgrade once you've had a look and see what you're getting. So we'll just scroll down. So yeah, there's some new thing called intelligent circuit modeling. So yeah, well, whatever that's got to do with things, I don't know. But it's incredibly realistic, apparently. So you've got new amp Chicago and Bass Invader and Fire Breather. Plus, every amp comes with a matched cabinet now that you can switch between the cabinet and the room, as you can see there. So you can kind of adjust how much room you want, and if you want the mic straight up against the cabinet. So that's quite cool. And plus they've brought in so Freak, Dirt and Bite are separate Native Instruments audio plugins that I've got that you get as part of K13. So those are included now, and also Flare, Choral, and Phases. So they're pretty good for modulation effects. So you've got chorus, a phaser, and a flanger. You also get ROM as well, which is one of my favourite reverbs, and I use that a lot on tracks as a separate plugin. And you get Supercharger and Supercharger GT. Then, like I said, there's a whole bunch of stuff from Soft Tube. So you've got reverbs and vintage compressors, and those are really nice. And normally very expensive Soft Tube stuff, I seem to remember. And then Solid, you got some classic Solid EQ, Solid Bus Comp, Solid Dynamics, and then Transient Master. Plus you get some of the other ones that, so you got Replica Shimmer, Doppel filter, which is quite cool. You get a kind of Doppel effect. You get Driver, which again is a separate plugin as part of K13, and Ramfire, which is they designed in collaboration with Rammstein, funnily enough. So that's pretty good, and that is an emulation of a legendary 500 dual rectifier amp, if you know what that is. Then you get Reflector, which is convolution technology with 300 impulse responsives. It's a reverb tool. So there we go. And then you get Tractor stuff, plus all the original amps, pedals, and other effects, which include tape echo, reverb, psych delay, and various other stomp boxes. So it's massive, basically. And like I said, you can buy this for $179 or upgrade from Guitar Rig 5 for £89. But you actually do get the player version of Guitar Rig if you go to Complete Start, which if you haven't got Complete Start, I don't know why. I mean, I'm assuming if you're watching this video, you've probably already got Complete Start. But if you haven't, just download it, it's free. And you get the Guitar Rig 6 player. So you can always try that out first. It kind of follows the same UI, obviously, as the main version. So yeah, so the main thing is that, you know, it's called Guitar Rig, but you can put anything through it. There's absolutely no reason why you can't put a synth, keys, drums, whatever you want. So, and that's what I'm going to have a look at today, because there's loads of reviews of this with a guy just playing like a guitar through it, faffing about, playing some riffs and stuff. So there's not really a lot of point in doing another one of those videos. So I am going to show you what you can do with other instruments and how it sounds, because it is pretty cool. And some of the effects you get are great. Like I said, you can throw it in anything. So let's dive into Logic and have a look at what we can do. Okay, right. So here we are in Logic with so this is Guitar Rig 5. So I just wanted to show you the difference in the UI, because Guitar Rig 5 was kind of boring. So you've got your presets, your components, and your options. And as you can see, it's just all text. So yeah, so it's just not that great. So we can see what was new in GR5, and it has a kind of like a rating thing. So and you can see, I think I've actually got one that I quite liked. So let's have a look and see what was. Yeah, so you can see. I mean, it's obviously better once you've got the amps loaded in. But so we'll play. I've got electric Sunburst here, since I haven't got an actual electric guitar. So this is the next best thing. So we're just going to play a bit of this. Right. So that's just the straight electric Sunburst. So we'll switch this on and just see what it's like. So yeah, so it's very nice. So that is Guitar Rig 5. So which was I think part of Complete 12. So right, so this is Guitar Rig 6. So as you can see, slight difference in the interface. So you've got your presets and your components, and then your these are your saved rigs. So and they've got this kind of color coding system now, where you can apply different colors to your kind of favorites. So I'm not sure quite why, because normally they have a star system. So if I open Electric Sunburst again, when you want to favorite something, you just use the star. So those are my favorite for this plugin. So this is actually the acoustic strummed acoustic I've got. So yeah, so they've done this kind of color coding thing, and yeah, I mean, I'm not really sure why, but hey. But as you can see, it's a lot nicer, and you can kind of shut that down so that you just got the amps. So what you do is, now you select the input source. So you can see you've got bass, drums, guitar, keys, mix bus, pads, piano, sequences, special effects, synth, and vocal. So so depending on what you're running through it, you can pick whichever one you want. You've got guitar, and then you've got effects types. So you can have amps and cabinets, character, delay, distortion. So you can go through those, and then you've got characters. So you've got clean. So this is kind of follows how this works. Normally, well, though obviously there's not much on this one, but normally there's loads of kind of types and characters on the actual instrument plugin. So they've kind of followed the same idea. Then you've got your amps, and then you've got your genres, and you can see I've picked blues, and then you've got also artists who have contributed to making up rigs. So yeah, so you can and you can see all your presets within that genre in guitar blues. So like I said, you just double click one of those, and we'll load in. So that's the new fire breather, which is probably not the best one for this an acoustic. So I'll pick something a bit more ambient. Right. So that is your basic sound. So we'll whack this on, and so you see you've got two Chicago amps and lots of other plugins. So yes, you've got rather a lot of delay and whatever. You've got a rotator, tremolo, reflector. So you can see, and obviously you can switch these off and on. So you can switch off the cabinet and the amp. So we'll switch that off, and then we can switch off, say, the rotator and reflector. And also, if you don't want, you can just drag things out as well. If you don't want that, you just drag it out, and then you could save that as one of your own kind of presets. So that is the kind of new look. And then you've got left, you've got panning, and then you've got right, and then you've got your in gate and out. The in and outs, and then you can switch on a limiter. So that's the kind of the top bit, and then you've got various other, so you can cycle through the presets here, you can randomize, and then you can save as well. You've got macros. So there's lots of other things, and then you can just delete the whole rack there as well. So if you're building up your own ones, which we'll do later, you can just delete the whole thing. So it's a much nicer, and you can just scroll up and down with your scroll wheel. It's much nicer interface compared to boring old Guitar Rig 5. I think you'll agree. Right, let's have a look. Let's do what's the rock ballad one? That's quite nice. All right, let's have a look at rock scope. Right. Right, so I have a bit of rock skew muted. Right, so we've got guitar, we've got amps and cabinets. So we've selected that, amps and cabinets, and then we've got electronica on for some reason. So we'll go and pick character genres. Let's have a go at rock and see what it throws up. Right, so we've got high grain breather. So we'll whack this in. Right, so that's before. So let's have a look at some of the other presets, and let's go to rock ballad. Right, we'll bung it on Basic Chicago. get the idea. Let's see what BC Radio Vostok. So yeah, anyway, that is some guitars. And like I said, there's loads of other videos with people whacking guitars through these things. But yeah, you can see how many things you can actually add into these. Right, so ditch these and get on to the actual non-guitar that we can whack through this. Right, so I've got a bit of cloud supply, and I am running at a bit of space for these. So let's what have we got? Check my pulse. Which is quite nice. Right, so what have I got? I've got input as synth, and then I've got characters as spacious. So we'll see what, and this is There Will Be Oil. So let's just see what this sounds like. I've obviously, yeah. Which is quite nice. Even reverb. So let's have a look at evolving, which is let's have a look. Oh, there's a lot of evolving ones out here. There we go. Right, acid dolphins. Well, is that dolphins on acid or? I'm not really quite sure I can say much about that one. Right, this looks a bit wacky as well. Let's have a look at. Oh, like that. Right, so we've got Chicago, we've got the jazz amp, we've got real wah, we've got an LFO running, we've got tremolo, we've got bite, we've got sight delay, we've got grain delay, we've got more LFOs than you can shake a big stick at, we've got VC70, oh for Christ's sake, VC76 and an equalizer shelving. Right, that is a lot. So like I said, this is. Right, so we'll just switch it. We'll just switch to another. Let's have a go in orbit. Well, quite like that one. Right, so we'll put this one on a colour. Like I said, the only problem with this is like I don't know what colour to put it on. I have no idea what. Well, let's put it on mint for some reason. I don't know. So because obviously I'm assuming that you're supposed to maybe use these for, I don't know, each instrument. I have no idea. Right, let's go back to synth and moving Midnight Mass. so you get the idea. It's pretty cool for running stuff like this through it. I mean, you know, there's. We'll just have a look at Street Sweeper. I can't remember what that. Right, so we'll put on. Well, yeah, we'll leave it on synth and then just see amps and cabinets. Right, so Chicago Synth Exploder. Right, what have we got on this? We've got RC24 Chicago, Electric Lady, flanger, and a harmonic synth. Right. Maybe not the best one. Ocean Spray, that's it. Right. Switch the rotator off. I'm not sure that's helping. Like that. Let's muck about with the cutoff. Right, so that is your kind of synthy stuff. We've also bass guitar through it. So we've got Rickenbacker here, and so we've got it on bass and amps and cabinets. So let's see, what have we got? Genres. Let's try blues. All right, so we've got clean. So we'll play this without it. That's cruncher. Let's try just a right. So that's just your standard kind of bass. Right, so let's whack this on. So that's just a clean plectrum bass. So let's try experimental amp pig. Now we're talking. Right, so let's stick this on cruncher. Pretty cool. And you can see we've got a lot of vintage soft tube stuff. We've got Bass Invader and Vintage Verb. So yeah, like I said, let's try another one. Look, Mum, no guitar. Right, let's try another preset. I don't know if I've actually got that many. I don't know. I've never really used Rickenbacker Bass, to be honest, I have to say. Flame. They all sound much the same, don't they? Right, that's a bit. Quite like that one. Let's do so. What are we on? Is that mint? Yeah, mint. Okay, so that is kind of bass. What I am going to do is build up a rig from scratch. So I've got this basic guitar loop here, Crystal's guitar, Apple loop. So what I thought is we'll go through and just see what we can build up. So if we go to amps, so say, what do we fancy? Citrus. So as I was saying earlier, you can actually move this between the room and the cabinet, which I forgot to kind of show you on some of the other amps. So that's quite cool, and that's a new thing in 6. And then also you've got different cabinets you can pick from as well, and also presets for each amp. So you've got dirty, clean, and fat crunch for citrus. So let's just see what this sounds just with citrus. So that's nothing. So that's a bit crunchy. So so like I said, if you want to get rid of that, you just drag it off the screen, and also the because like I said, the amps and the cabinets are separate. So let's try one of the tweed ones. So Tweedman, let's see if that's. So you can hear so we can take the brightness down a wee bit. Actually take the volume down a wee bit. Yeah, so we can take the brightness down a wee bit. So let's try putting 2 amps on. Let's maybe try Plex. Right. Right, don't like that. Let's try AC box. Right. I had a bit of trouble. Right, so let's bung on some EQ, solid EQ, and reverb. Yeah, I forgot to say that you can actually collapse these up and down to save a bit of space. So, so let's just put that back up. Right. Right, what else could we stick on? Reverb, delay and echo. Let's do a replica. Anyway, you get the idea. That's probably not the greatest sample. I should really get a different guitar. It's a bit tinny sounding. Anyway, so that is what you can do. So if you want to get rid of that, which to be honest I would, but so if I'm going to save that, just save new preset, and then we could put in DJT, and we'll call it Tweed or something like that. If I could spell Tweed. Right, and we'll save that. Oh, presets. There we go. There we go. I was in components, so you need to go presets. There we go, and then there we go. User Tweed. So then, yeah. So if I want to ditch that, just delete the whole thing, and then go back and start again, which is probably not a bad thing because that was a terrible sample to use. But never mind. That is kind of how you create your own amazing rig, but just not with that awful guitar sample. All right, so we'll handle that. Right, so this is a track that I've done using some samples. So each of these has got guitar rig on it. So I've taken everything else off that was already on, for instance, Crate Digger. So we'll just switch this back on as well. So you can see this is seismic. So I'll switch this off, and it's a drummer track. So I'll just play it just to let you hear. Right. So I have got a dirt injector on this one, which you can see is a bass invader and dirt. So we'll just so you can see that is pretty cool. And then we can muck about, so we could like add some more drive in, and then we've got saturation. Switch the limiter on, and then you can so what I've done is I've switched all this off. So hang on, we'll switch that back on. There we go. Right, so I have got, so obviously I've selected drums as the input source at the top, and let's just see. So I have got 808 Bus Crunch hooked up to this one. As you can see, there's rather a lot. So we'll just play it without it. Right. So yeah, so that said, it's pretty good for getting some nice bit crushed drum effects. And like I said, you can see there's loads of tube compressors and God knows what, split mix. Oh, there's a ring modulators, LFOs. In fact, the LFO's switched off, is it? Yeah. So yeah, so that is. I'm just going to run through these quickly. So yeah, so I've got just a little vocal chop. So I'll just take that back down and bring that back up, and what have I got through this one? I've got reverse delays, so we'll play it. I mean, it's already got a bit going on, but we'll see. Rather a lot of limiters, delays, reflector, and what have you. And like I said, all of these have kind of presets, so you can see this twin delay has, let's just play this. So like I said, there's loads of presets with each of these. They normally just come up with the init, and then you can. So let's just try radio on that one, and the limiter. Yeah, so there's not much on limiter, right? So yeah, quite like that. So we've got a shady pluck, which I think I've used in one of my tracks before. Yeah, I kind of used this before. Quite like this. Right, so what I've got is I've got Beautiful Dirt running through this with Chicago, and so let's just see what that one. Right, so we've got hip hop, elevate bass, and let's just see what that sounds like on its Todd. Right, and I've got Ampeg running through this, so. So you can see there's a couple of VC76 and Bass Invader and Vintage Verb Ensemble and various other malarkeys, and we're on bass as the input. So I've got guitar, as this is a muted phase guitar, so this has obviously got a bit of effect on it anyway. Right, so I've got tight vintage Ramfire. So let's just see what that. So that's quite cool, and we've got so yeah. So that's it. We'll see. And I've actually switched the screamer off because I think it was too much. So I switched the screamer back on. Yeah, it was just a bit too much, I think. And then we're on vintage on the Ramfire as well, because you've got modern, vintage, clean, and RZK. So you can switch between these. Let's just. So it does actually make quite a bit of difference. So the vintage, the kind of grungier version. Right, so let's have a go at. Oh yeah, there's another lyric one as well. I forgot about that. There's a lyric one at the bottom as well, which has. We're gonna drive it all night. So it's more of a normal kind of vocal, although it's been tweaked a wee bit. But so. We're gonna drive it all night. So yeah, so we've got tape echoes and tube compressors or whatever on that. Right, so let's get going. Let's get the bass going. Right. Right, there we go. So that that was a bit a bit on the crunchy side, but yeah. Anyway, you get the idea. You can pretty much put anything through Guitar Rig. So don't worry that you could, if you don't have a guitar, it doesn't really matter. Because like I said, you can always just use something like electric Sunburst anyway, and just whack it through that if you don't actually play the guitar. But like I said, I mean, it's great for drums in particular. I think are brilliant, and also bass and lyrics. I mean, like I said, that seismic. We'll just solo this seismic one again. Right. Yeah, I had the wrong one. Right, so seismic. Yeah, so I particularly like seismic and dirt injector. Actually, we'll just try a couple of other samples before we finish off this. So that's dirt injector, which is got a nice, really bringing out the kick there. So let's have a go at drums effects type. Let's try modulation. Mash upside down. That's a new one. Let's try that. Maybe not the best. But like I said, there's so many presets, and like I said, you can just build up your own rigs. So let's just put on sequence loops and see what else we've got there. Aqua Quake, Auto Quake. Let's. You never know what you're going to get, to be perfectly honest. But it's that is pretty cool. Actually, quite like that one. So hopefully you have got a good idea of what you can do with Guitar Rig Pro 6. And like I said, it is $179, or it comes part of all the complete 13 packages, and you can also update from Guitar Rig 5 if you've got that with a previous either K12 or possibly some hardware. So yeah, so that is it. And I will just play out with a bit of crate digger and bass, and let's switch the ice crystals back on. I can't remember what I had on that now. Nothing. Hang on, let's try. Right, I'll put on my own kit. There we go. That was a heap of bollocks, but never mind. Right, let's just play that and see what we're sounding like. That's better. Let's take that down a bit. Right. Right, there we go. Hours of fun, basically, with Guitar Rig 6. I think you'll agree. So thanks for watching. If you're enjoying these, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. And leave comments if there's anything else in the K13 multitude of either audio effects, instrument plugins, anything that you want to have reviewed. Just let me know in the comments. And thanks for watching again, and I will see you next week. Bye for now.